Hello, friends. This is going to be the start of my January wrap up. I am joined by a bean. Noodle is leaving. I started this because they were being really cute and I am not super organized yet. I read 10 books this month. I had a pretty good start to the reading year. I did feel like I eased into it a little bit, which was actually pretty nice. I think ideally I would like to hit 10 to 15 books per month, but because my TBR is so high, I do kind of still feel the pressure in the back of my mind of you need to be reading more. And I think once I have that a little bit more under control, I will be able to do less a little bit more easily, just like mentally. That'll start decreasing that sense that I need to be. What are you doing over there? I hear someone rustling in the kitchen. Hey. Are you messing with my cup? Oh my God. Okay. This beanbag is so hard to get out of. What do you... Okay. Do you just need the water from the water cup? We're back. Yeah, so Bert likes to drink out of our water cups, especially the closed ones. He was messing with it, and he will like pull at it because there's lids on it, and so all he wants to do is get in there, and so he'll knock it over and dump everything out. Sometimes it's easier to just go open it for him and let him drink out of it than... Oh my gosh. They've also dumped toys out back here. Oh my gosh. Are you guys still playing with this? Didn't Dad? Oh boy. Oh my goodness. Well, I didn't really mean to have this kitty interlude again. You guys are gonna have to wait a minute, I think. Oh my goodness. Let's see. You guys are so funny. Anyway, I guess I will talk to you here. Just so we can all get little moments of goofiness. Oh my goodness. Wow. All right. Well, so like I said, I read 10 books and had a generally overall really good start to the year in terms of reading. Like none of these, I didn't hate any of these or anything. Like none of them were like, oh, this is a terrible time. So I'm going to run through a few fairly quick because they are rereads. Or well, so I did read 9 physical books and then 1 audiobook. The audiobook is a reread, and we now have a Cecil right here. Anyway, so we oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Yeah. All right. Okay. Anyway, so the audiobook is a reread, and that one was First Writer's Call by Chris Kristen Britton. It is the second book in the Green Rider series, and I'm in the process of re-listening to the audiobooks so I can read the 8th one, which came out, I think, in September of last year. And I was listening to some recaps and I was like, I don't remember. Are you guys still romping? Can I adjust this up? All right, we're going to do it. As I was listening to these recaps, I was like, I just don't really remember all of the specific details of the last, I think, 2 books specifically. And I was like, I probably need to reread those. But, all right, we got some more shenanigans. Oh. We're leaving the building. So I was like, I could just reread them all. I think I finished Green Rider in December and First Rider's Call in January. I just finished High King's Tomb, which is the 3rd one today, and it's February. I will probably finish the 4th one in February. I do have some others that I want to listen to. I haven't decided if I want to break up listening to Green Rider with these other books or if I just want to blast on through and then get to those when I get to those. I'm leaning more towards that because I'm just having a good time. This is the probably at least 3rd time that I have listened to, 3rd or 4th actually, since I've listened to all of these, especially the earlier ones. It's just a great series and I really appreciate coming back to it. It's ended up becoming one of my favorite series of all time. The other one that is sort of, it's not really a reread, but I have consumed the media before, is Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation. I have read the light novels. I have, this is the comic, this is volume 10. The only thing I really have to say about it is that I'm still enjoying it, but I have read the light novels. I have watched the live action, which is called The Untamed. And then I have also actually just recently watched the animated version, not quite a reread, but know what's going on. I will say, I think you get the most detail in the light novels with character development, plot intricacies, that sort of thing. I do think that's most detailed in the light novels. And then I managed to read 3 books that were books I needed to read before pre-ordering a sequel. One of them, I had actually already ordered the sequel, and that one would be A Language of Dragons. I think the pre-order was back at the end of November, and I did end up pre-ordering the sequel, had started this, but not finished it. Hi. What are you up to? Oh, what are we doing? Are we stealing another toy? Are you getting a tennis ball? Oh my gosh. Oh, you can go get it. I'm so sorry. That's my bee. I gotta keep talking to the people about these books, Bean. What can I get you? Do you want this mouse? We have attention. Oh, we have left. This follows Vivian Featherswallow. All she wants to do is go to school to study dragon languages and become a linguist. Events take place at the beginning of the book that severely put that in jeopardy. Almost her entire family is accused of treason and siding with the rebel faction Human Dragon Alliance. This is set in 1920s London and is an alt history. There has been a World War I, but fought with dragons and more between dragons and humans than between countries, if that makes sense. There has been a peace treaty signed and a new system put in place, but the new system is highly inequitable and, the people at the top are still the top, and it's a class system in your first, second, or third class, and you can change classes. You can get demoted or you can move up, and it's a lot harder to move up, either starting lower class and moving up, or once you've been demoted, moving back up. Viv tries to do a thing to save her family and ends up getting herself in trouble and catching the attention of the I don't know if I can't remember if her title is prime minister or president or whatever, but she is the leader of the country and is doing some nefarious things and is trying to discover a secret dragon language. Viv is enlisted to go join these other code breakers to decipher this hidden dragon language, like secret dragon language. She makes a deal to get her cousin Marquis to join her there. His specialty is more I think he wants to be a vet or something. He joins her. They meet a bunch of other people, including her former best friend, who Viv has wronged in some way. And you don't really find that out until the end of the book. There are a lot of topics that are very relevant to stuff going on today. The inequalities in the system of governance, quality of life issues for a lot of people, a lot of inequality between classes, people being persecuted for no reason. So it was a little hard to sit through the news and see all this stuff happening around us and then come home and pick up a book like this. I think it's very relevant and important. I will say that as I was reading, I was really engrossed in the story. I was like, okay, I need to just finish this, and if I don't enjoy it, then I can just cancel my pre-order and save some money or get a refund. I did end up keeping the pre-order. I really like where the story is going. I will say that, like I said earlier, all she wants to do is go study dragon languages. And she thinks that if she decodes this language, gives the prime minister the information that she wants, and saves her family, they can just go back to how things were, when that's not the case. And it's like she knows it in the back of her mind, but every time someone confronts her with it, she's like, no, it's going to be okay. And they're like, are you delusional? There is sympathy for her, but at the same time, you just want to shake her a little bit. Be like, you can't imagine that things are going to go back to how they were, that you are going to get your old life back. Surely you have to see this. And it takes her a real good chunk of the book. I'm talking 3/4 plus of the book to fully digest that. So I do think if you're having a hard time with it, give it a break, come back to it, because I do think she does get it together mentally. There are a lot of reveals about the language itself and about society and other machinations that are going on behind the scenes, information that the rebels have that she finds out. I think the story itself is developed really well, because it's you have this A plot, which is her trying to save her family and decode this language. And then it really smoothly rolls into the B plot. And now the B plot is the A plot. And you're just oh, wow. So I do think it was really well done that way. And I do think the break helped. And then I was when I was reading it initially, I was reading a little bit here and there. And then when I picked it back up, I was I have to finish this. And that's it. I think it's worth a read. So the sequel has come out, and I do want to try and get to it as soon as it gets here, just so I don't have it, just so I maintain my interest, and then also so I can get to it and not have to reread this. I'm ready to move along in the story. Another one that I read for a pre-order was The Scorpion and the Night Blossom. And I had a really good time with this. So the dedication in this one's for the C-drama girlies. And this is very much a C-drama. I could just picture all of it really well. So this is the Fairy Loot edition. And I did end up pre-ordering the Illumicrate set. So this follows Anying, who goes to compete in the immortality trials. There are 3 realms. So the Heavenly Realm, our realm, and then Demon Realm. I don't remember what it's called. The Heavenly Realm puts on these immortality trials, and if you win, you get, I think it's a pearl of immortality, and you can take it, become immortal, or you can give it to someone who is ill and restore their life force. Anying wants to go compete in order to save her mother, who is dying. Half of her soul was devoured by a demon several years prior to the events of the book. There are other events that have taken place between the 3 realms that have made it really difficult to even get to where the immortality trials take place. She's on her way and she meets this other competitor, and he's like, hey, we should team up. So they team up together, and then once they arrive, she tries to start putting distance between them, because she's like, I'm here to compete, oh my God, there's only one prize given. But he still helps her, assists her in a lot of ways, and like shows up, treats her kind of like a teammate. And so there's like sort of like a romance between them. But then there are like revelations about some of the other characters and some of the past events that have taken place, like prior, like while she was a child, basically. This wasn't perfect for me, but it was a lot of fun. I am excited to read the sequel. I just don't know that it's going to be like a favorite of all time. I will probably be getting the Fairy Loot copy too. The one that I don't think I'm going to pre-order is the sequel to The Rose Bargain. This follows Ivy. This is also an alt history. During the War of the Roses, I think King Edward makes a deal with this fairy queen. They would get married and she would make him king and like help him win the war. And then of course, like a few days later, he keels over and dies. And so she's queen. She remains queen for the next 400 years. It's a slightly different England than what we're used to. Like it's very Regency inspired, maybe Victorian inspired. There are still girls debuting in society. When they debut, they go make a bargain with the queen. The things that they give up are sometimes something that doesn't matter to them. But then for some, they give up like a tooth or a memory is very common. Ivy's older sister debuted a few years prior. She doesn't remember the deal that she made and disappeared for a long period of time and came back and just had no memory of what her wish was, where she was, anything like that. Because of that, the whole family is dealing with hard times. Like there's like major financial struggles. They are just trying to make ends meet and trying to like maintain like the semblance of a roof over their heads. And when Ivy debuts, the queen announces that for any of the girls who are interested, they will be eligible to compete for her son's hand in marriage. The caveat is that if you are competing for his hand and you lose, you can't get married ever. For Ivy, she's like, well, this is my one chance to like turn my family's circumstances around. So she's like, yep, I'll do it. I don't care if I get married or not. I just need to be able to get my family back into society's good graces. After they've made this agreement, all the girls go live in this one house. The queen has like trials or games in order to gauge how suitable a match each girl would be for her son. There's also another prince. Over the years, the queen has taken a male consort, and this is her current male consort's son from a previous marriage. He made a bargain with her to legitimize his son, and in exchange, he would never be able to speak to his son again. This other prince is like actively trying to figure out a way to take the queen down so he can go back to having a relationship with his father. He sets his sights on Ivy to be like, hey, you can help me, so I'm going to help you, and we're going to figure this out. And so they start developing a relationship, and there's like a little bit of romance going on. She ends up falling in love with him instead of the one that she is competing for. It was an enjoyable read, but I just don't think I need to spend money on the sequel. I think I would be fine just getting it from the library. The book that this reminded me of was These Hollow Vows a little bit. I think if you liked that one, you would like this one. And then the last few I have to talk about are actually, 3 of them are kids' books, and then one is like a illustrated nonfiction. Because I need little points of brightness and joy and happiness and sweetness in my day. Sometimes I pick up kids' books, and I think you should too if you need that, because the Bakery Dragon is adorable. Look at him. Look at him. Look at him. He's so stinking cute. He's just a little guy. And he wants to be like all the other dragons and have a big hoard of gold. So one day he goes into town and is like, oh, there's gold over here. Turns out that it's a window full of red at a baker's shop. He falls asleep in front of the window. A storm rolls in and the baker's like, wakes him up, says, come inside. And so he learns how to bake. It's just sweet. I also picked up the sequel, which is The Bakery Dragon and the Fairy Cake. The princess of the, I think, turnip fairies comes to the bakery and is like, hey, I need you guys to bake a birthday cake for my mom, the queen of the turnip fairies. And the dragon's like, oh, well, like, what about this? What about this? What about this? And she's like, no, that's just bread. That's not a cake. They go to the library, find a cookbook with a recipe in it. He learns how to bake a cake, and it's so cute and so sweet. The last kids book that I have is Night Owl and Early Bird. I picked up Night Owl a couple years ago, maybe. This is the sequel. Early Bird wants to come be a knight like the owl. Early Bird wants to be noisy and boisterous all day while the night owl is trying to sleep. They clash a little because of that, because who wants to be bothered while they're trying to sleep after a hard night's work? It's all about their like journey to being like, oh, like we can work together. We just have to like learn how to accommodate each other's schedules, and also really cute. The last one, that is the nonfiction one, is Spooky Lakes. So if you have not seen the Spooky Lake series on TikTok or Instagram, this is the book that was written by the creator of that series. Like not only the text done by her, but also all of the art is done by her. It's just incredible. Like it's so detailed. Like even just the cover. And she talks about volcanic lakes, toxic lakes, nuclear lakes, like filled with like nuclear waste, lakes with shark, all this kind of stuff. And it's really cool and like super informative. The entries are pretty short. So the first one is Lake Superior. You get text, but you then also get all of these artworks. And this one is really long because it goes for several pages before you go on to the next one. But then some are only 2 pages. Some are longer, some are shorter. I almost forgot to talk about this last book. Spooky Lakes is not the last book. Avatar: The Last Airbender art book is the last book. So we went to the concert in September. Damien had got me tickets for my birthday, and it's like all the music and everything from the show in like an orchestra. It was really well done. And of course, we picked up this and we got a little LP of Secret Tunnel. I finally finished reading this. This was such a well done art book. There is so much text, but there's also so much art in here. The way that they laid this out is really incredible because they do like the whole intro, like they talk about the like creating the series, coming up with the idea, pitching the pilot, and like getting everything ready to actually go into development and all of that. But then once they get into development, they basically break everything down by episode and like give you details about each episode and how like the story was progressing and special moments that resonated with them, resonated with the fans. They talked about like the studio that they worked with in Korea, all the people that were really involved in developing like the bending styles. It just was like super detailed, and I really just liked the way that they went episode by episode. And then like at the end of each chapter, which was a season, they would talk about, sure, we've gotten through season 1, but like now we're gearing up into season 2, and like how are we going to develop all of the story and progress these specific plot points. And just a really well done, well curated, well put together. This was worth the money that we spent on it. I think if you like Avatar: The Last Airbender and you like art books like this is a really well done one. I hope you all had a really good reading month. I hope if you are in the States, you're taking care of yourself. I hope you find little moments of joy like my kids' books. There are a lot of things that we can do, but I think it's also important to hold on to little pieces of joy as much as you can and not lose that. Anyway, I hope everyone is doing well. I hope you are all reading great books, and I will see you guys again at the end of February. I am actually currently working on a vlog. I don't know if I'll do the whole month or if I'll just do the first 2 weeks. I'll see how I'm feeling, how many books I've read, and how much footage I have. I will see you guys in the next one, and happy reading.